Hi, this is Anjali with EDM Toronto, and here beside me is John Double O Fleming, also known as Joof.
Yep.
So welcome back to Toronto.
Hello.
Hi. Last night you played an extended 5-hour set, non-recorded, at Toika Lounge, which is a smaller venue, which is, you know, got that basement feel and kind of, lets you really connect with your audience. So was that the kind of night you had in mind when you set out your Joof editions?
Completely. This is my comfort zone. I'm back to my roots of where my career started. I mean, these kind of venues, it's a natural filter service for people, music people that just want to get their heads down, hot and sweaty, and just really go for it, as opposed to like a regular big kind of super club, whatever you want to call it, where it's a bit more dressy. You're surrounded by more kind of different clientele. And I'm going back to my roots back here, and I think a lot of people are enjoying that as well. People have been to the super clubs, done the super club thing, and just looking for a little bit more of a stimulant.
Okay.
And that's what these kind of clubs offer.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad that you fulfilled the need in Toronto. So last night you launched the tour of your upcoming artist album, 110 WKO.
It catches everyone out.
It does,
right? I'd be surprised if we didn't stumble over it.
Okay, good. So it's not just me.
No, you're not the only one. I did it on purpose.
Okay, so I have two questions for you. Why was Toronto selected as the first city to launch this tour? And then I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit more about the album. Okay.
I mean, I've got a close connection with this city. When me and Toronto, we go back. It was like the mid-90s, I think it was, when I first started coming here, like the early raves and underground venues, and I kind of always talk about it like my second home, because I've been coming here so much. I've seen a lot in the scene here. I've seen it grow from a baby to it explode to kind of where it is now and where it is going to go. And when Oz, the promoter, said, look, we want to get you back, because we've spoken, we're going to do regular things together, which we have been already, and he said, hey, I've got a date in January, do you want to come here and make it your album launch, like the pre-album launch? Just like, go on, why not? It's just a perfect fit because it's Toronto, so I agreed to it, because we're not officially starting until it's like end of February, March, so this is a little exclusive.
It's good timing too, because the buzz is building. Right? So at least you could do something. And you know, it's kind of, like you said, the pre-party for the official launch. Yeah,
it was good, because I road tested a load of tracks, and no one will know which one they are. They won't know, but for me, but that's the whole point really, because I don't want to make a big announcement, this is my track, and then put people in a different mindset. It's nice to play it and see the audience, you know, to react to it. Luckily, I didn't clear the place, so it must be alright.
Well, I think we reacted very well last night.
Definitely.
Okay, awesome. So tell us about, you said, you know, you saw me stumble across the album title. Yeah. Where did that come from? What does it mean?
Well, for me, I mean, I've been fascinated with what's up there, and I'm not like an astronomy geek or anything like that, but for me, there's always been a connection with the stars, the universe, the planets, etc., with electronic music. When you go way back to when I first got into, like, Jean-Michel Jarre was my gateway into this world, and that was at a time when all that was in the charts was like live bands, live music. So this fellow here was making all these wild electronic synth noises, and it's like stepping into the future, hearing those sounds. And the movie and the TV world, in the sci-fi, you know, futuristic world, they embrace these sounds on their TV shows and movies because it's so futuristic. And this kind of led on to the birth of trance, because trance was always futuristic. You know, when it first came out in the early 90s, it was like a step way ahead, beyond of anything else. You know, these sounds and how they're embracing these sounds and technology. And the early trance artists like Astral Projection, Juno Reactor, just look at their names, that's where they got their names from the universe. So for me, there's always been that connection. I think the connection's been lost in recent years because it's become pop music, it's just vocals and stuff. It's not what my understanding of trance is, so I kind of wanted to bring that back a little bit. So going on to 110 WKO, when people find a star, or a planet or the galaxy's discovered, they give it a code name. You'll see, if you do a little Google search, you'll see all these code names for new stars until they give it an official birth name. So I've always said, if I discover a star, that's what I call it. I don't know where it came from, I have no idea, but this came to me, so I called it my album. It was always in my head for a long time. I thought, right, I'm going to call it my album. And then you see the artwork, and there's my star being born.
That's amazing.
There we go.
That's actually a beautiful connection that you just made there.
In every track, you'll see the track names. They've got kind of galaxy or star names, and there is honest feeling behind each track that I've made.
Tell us what we can expect in terms of sound on your album.
I'm going to surprise people, I think. You know.
Fine.
But no, in a good way, because my debut album was in, I think it was August 2011. And I've been promising this album, this was 9 Lives, for like a decade.
Right.
And it got really embarrassing, like, you know, saying, oh, next year, and everyone's like, oh, come on, I'm getting fed up with waiting.
Yeah.
So that album was for the fans, and I'm not saying that I didn't put my heart and soul into that one, because I did. But this album's for me, and I knew that was my kind of inside game plan. Okay, let's get this album done, because all these tracks were made, but already I was working on this album, even when this album was coming out, and little people don't know that I actually make scores for TV and movie world. I'm just quite humble. This is the first time I'm telling everyone now that I've been doing that for a long, long time, and I've put those skills into this latest album. So, I mean, last week I was in the famed Abbey Road Studios in London. That's where the Beatles recorded all their so I was in the same live studio room.
What an experience.
And recording the Philharmonic Orchestra, the London one. So this is the Queen's Orchestra, and I was recording it, making the track and working with them. So that's the stuff I'm doing, and you'll hear a lot of that in this album. And there is live orchestration and pianos and things like that, but it's with electronic music, so it's a really interesting combination, but it works.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're doing something that hasn't been done, or at least in a really long time.
No.
So you're kind of bringing, like you said, your roots back into the music that you're doing today.
Completely, because if you listen to orchestral music, it's really emotional. I mean, it's made for that reason. It's very emotional. You see it in a lot of operas and things like that. It's made for that purpose. So for me, it suits trance music, and it actually works really, really well. Because again, none of these tracks, I don't care for them to be in the Beatport Top 100. I don't care for them to be hits. Didn't make them for that reason. That's not this album, and you'll feel this emotion in it.
Great. Well, I can't wait.
You haven't got long to wait. It's not far away.
Good. So 2012 seemed to be quite a transformative year,
Yeah.
both for trance music in general and for you as an artist. So can you elaborate on maybe some of the highlights or big things that happened for you in 2012?
I think personally this was the best year ever in my career. That's like a big thing to say.
That's
you know,
a huge
so a long
thing,
career. I've had some really amazing times back in the past, and I've been quite open and vocal about my rants, my famed rants. But that was at a time where the big marketing commercial storm really hit hard, and I don't want to make it sound like I've got anything against those guys, because I honestly haven't. I mean, I'm close to Bob and Beyond, they're all my mates, and they still continue to be my mates, and I understand that's their world. We used to kind of be together, and now we've gone in a different place, which is just music, it's just what happens. But the scene is in an uncomfortable place together, because before, historically, you had the commercial scene, the underground scene. They all worked perfectly together. You know, the underground world is a world for new DJs, for producers, existing clubs, underground clubs. It's like a platform to try new things, to experiment, to always move things forward. And then that whole infrastructure just disappeared because this commercial storm came in, and we lost all that lot. So we lost a lot of good men at the time, but all the underground clubs seemed to disappear. I'm talking about the trance world here, because I know you get people on forums going, oh, techno's fine about this one. Look, I'm talking about the trance world specifically. And when I look at the UK, all our great clubs, the underground clubs, just completely disappeared. So I lost a lot of good mates, a lot of good DJs, a lot of good producers that have just gone and given up. So for me, seeing this, me struggling to find music, me struggling to find the right clubs for me to play, I was in quite a low place. So my therapy was to do these blogs, and unfortunately this new world of the internet technology, you press send and then it's there, and
you can't erase it, really.
You can't erase it. So people knew my personal feelings and knew what I was going through. But I realised there was a lot of people sharing what I was going through, so it was really good therapy, getting the nice words back and the good feedback. And now going back to your question, I went on a bit of a mission there, didn't I? Have you got enough tape over there? But now I'm seeing eventually the scene is changing, and I think we have to thank people like Armin and all of those guys, because they are the gateway into the electronic world, and it just took a little bit longer for these new people to discover something else, because usually, you know, they find this world and then they might hear Armin play a track which has got like some really dark kind of beats to it, but then it goes somewhere else when I like that little bit there.
Yeah.
Who plays this kind of music? Where can I find it? So then they start experimenting, and then they find the likes of me and other people. So that's why I'm in a really good place at the moment, because I can't believe how many underground clubs, how many festivals, how many new promoters, old promoters going back to their roots. And I've got to say, probably in Europe and around Asia, it's the biggest underground movement I've ever seen in the creation of trance music. So I'm in a good place, and next year my diary's packed already with gigs and clubs that suit me.
Good. Well, I'm so glad to hear that, and you can see kind of the light inside you fire up when you talk about it.
Oh, so happy now, because when I get a new track now, I know I'm going to play it at the right place, because before I was playing it at the wrong place.
Right.
And it was so frustrating. You fly halfway around the world, you play at this club, and they don't get me, you know, I don't kind of understand them, so you get really frustrated. You can't play half the music you want to.
Now, you seem to come from a spiritual place, whether it's creating music without ego, whether it's expressing yourself through your writing, or, you know, keeping yourself healthy and strong through your fitness and things like that you do. What role does spirituality play in your life, and how does it how does it translate into your music?
I don't know. People have said that before, like I'm spiritual. I'm not. I don't think I'm spiritual. I'm not any specific religion, or don't follow anything. I just absolutely adore what I do, really do. And at one point, quite a few years back, I changed agency and management, and where the scene went, you know, for a lot of my colleagues, we were all kind of together, and then they went this route to become the people and the success they are. I had an agency desperate trying to make me go that way, and I had a couple of accidental tunes in the British top 40 charts. Complete accident, and it freaked me out.
Oh boy.
It really freaked me out, and that's not what I'm about, and that frightened me, to be honest, because I saw this new world, this corporate world, this, you know, people, I call them, they seem to be run by accountants. That's how I look at them. And they were trying to tell me what to do and not to do, and trying to dictate what happens and how to do photo shoots, how to do this, how to do that. I was like, no, this is not a place that I belong. You know, because my roots are from the underground world, from London and Brighton. There's two cities where I'm so happy. So there was a wobbly moment then, and I think people will remember the vocal tracks that I made, and for then, it put me on the track where I am today. And I think that's why people see this connection with the spiritual thing, and I'm always talking about my love and passion. Probably you hear this interview, I'll say passion probably 150 times. But I mean that's just what I love, just kind of comes through and translates. And you know, music makes me so happy to get a new track. Like, it takes me back to when I was a kid, when I was 15, to get that track and be excited to share it with people on the dance floor. That's what it feels like even coming here, sorting through my new music. It's like, say we're all music lovers, it's like me quickly put this track on, listen to this, and we're all in the room, oh, this is wicked. That's what it's like for me in the club. Like, as soon as I start playing that track, I'm just buzzing. It's not a big track, it could be dark as hell, but to see everyone going off on the dance floor, they're sharing that moment with me, and that gets me really emotional, and I secretly do kind of get all tearful and emotional inside when I'm playing. It's like, oh, they like it like I like it. So
okay, well, you know, people are just reacting to what you're putting out there.
Yeah,
it's a great connection that's formed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so what can we expect? I know you have your artist album coming up, and you know, you've already got your schedule kind of full for 2013. But
yes.
what else do you have lined up?
I've put together Stoof Music Group, because I see a lot of labels, a lot of label owners, a lot of producers, DJs, etc. are lost. So instead of me watching them disappear and getting it wrong, I said, right, I'm going to do something about it, and I've teamed together with my label partner, is Bonsai in Belgium. So we've got this huge infrastructure, and I've gone to all these people and said, look, you need help, let me help you. Here's a hand to reach out. So I've been guiding, mentoring a lot of producers, a lot of labels, a lot of labels that we know, and it's going to be under this Duke Music Group banner. So I'm going to bring them under what I'm doing and help them. So now it's going to launch, I think, at the same time as the album. We're trying to get the site finished now. So there's like a one-place stop where you can find likewise music labels, etc. Because at the moment, if you go in Beatport, I think Beatport has something like 6,000 releases each week. It's ridiculous. So you can't find what you want, and it is dominated by the more commercial sound. And for music lovers, it's really hard to find what you really want in there. Like I get lost in there, I spend a day in there, sometimes I just find one track, it's really annoying. So hopefully now you can come to this one place stop and you can literally find a community and music from this one place. So we've got
aligned with the things that you're really doing.
Yeah, I mean, to give an example, we've got under the family wing, we've got Platypus, we have those boys, Mystique. I just go on and on. That's just a little taster of who's involved and the big names and the great names. And we're all going to work together as a team. And the great thing, when we're a family in the unit together, we can help each other do remix swaps, we can do collaborations. We've got Airwave as well, so he's a huge part of this. We've got all these big, great names. I think people are going to be surprised when you click on the name of artists and think, wow, there's some really big players in there.
Well, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Definitely something to look forward to.
Yes, definitely.
So good luck and congratulations on your success to date.
Yes, thank you, everyone, for your it's like over 20 years of support. Not just the older ones, but like the new generation as well. It's really lovely to see, like, you know, last night. It's a mixture of, you know, the new guys and, you know, the older ones. It's like a mixture of ages. That's what I always say as the promoter. He said it's lovely when you play, you bring a whole
totally diverse crowd.
Completely diverse crowd, but that's what I like, and it's nice. It's really nice seeing the Toronto crowd starting to explore new things and looking for new things. So that's a good thing in my eyes.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It was a great pleasure talking to you.
And you too.
And hopefully we'll see you back in Toronto soon.
It'll be soon. It will be.
Right.
They're looking at every quarter, I think, so 4 times a year.
Amazing.
Yes.
All right. Well, good luck with your upcoming tour, and we will see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.